One of the bizarrest things when I worked in corporate was what our boss called the one clap policy. See, this leader loved applause, and so every large team meeting, and we're talking over 500 people, well, it dragged on forever because she wanted us all to clap. So to cut down time, she came up with a new policy, a one clap policy. We still had to clap when she paused for applause, but we had to clap only once. This is an example of push persuasion, where the person pushes change onto others rather than changing their own behaviour. A much better approach is pull persuasion, where you adapt what you do and people change in response. For example, pausing for applause less often and resuming speaking more quickly to cut down the time to clap. Because the secret sauce when it comes to behavioural influence is that it's often more about your own behaviour than it is about theirs. Blew my mind. GIST, as in get the gist, stands for got it superficially, thanks. Actually, it doesn't. But I reckon we've well and truly entered the era of GIST. AI summaries are doing the work for us, nutshelling ideas, whether they're simple or complex. It seems great. It frees us up so we can spend more time on deep work. But humans are pattern recognition beings. The more we copy and paste, the more we habituate the gist, the less we'll engage deeply. The rustier our thinking skills become. And for creators, gist means any nuance and depth gets flattened. So, I don't have the answers, but I know this is a problem. You get the gist. Here's how I fell for one of the oldest selling techniques. Ego. Academia, an academic paper website, sent me this tantalising email. Game on, let's see who's talking about me. To access my mentions, I needed to subscribe to their premium service, which I could do by joining a $1 trial. So far, so good. I'm one click away from seeing who thinks I'm clever. But no, because trying to search my mentions was absolutely impossible. 40 minutes later, I gave up trying to find any mention of me. And all they'd shown me is that their search function was terrible. 2 lessons from academia's approach. Number 1, their upgrade strategy was exactly right. Personalised insights, access or products is compelling for customers. And number 2, product functionality has to deliver on your promise. Customers will only chase the dangled carrot for so long before they give up and resent you for wasting their time. Don't tell me what to do. Ever come across that response? Maybe it was a customer, a colleague, a kid. It's called reactance, the feeling that arises when we believe our freedom to think or behave is threatened. That's a problem when we're trying to get someone to do something, whether it's to click a button or buy from us or take our advice. Rather than getting them to move towards us, they move the other way. So, what can you do about it? Here's one idea to get you started. Before you make a request, consider saying the following. You are free to say no. Simply reminding them that they are in control will reduce their sense of threat and make it much more likely they'll oblige. Should you show effort? A locksmith turns up to a house where the owner has locked themselves out. After only a few minutes, the locksmith unlocks the door, turns to the relieved owner and says, "That'll be $200. $200? It only took you 2 minutes. 2 minutes to open your door, 10 years to know how to do it so quickly." Known as the labour illusion, customers feel better about paying when they feel like effort has been put in. This can be an issue because most of us want to be valued for our ability to solve the problem, not by how long it takes us. When talking to customers about your value, this means you shouldn't underplay what it's taken or will take to deliver the solution. How? Itemise your invoices, spelling out parts of your process. Slow down. Consider delaying your responses so they perceive you've taken more time to mull over the details. Include process maps at step-out stages like research and testing, and credential yourself up front, explaining that you're able to resolve things faster because you have a depth of experience that others don't offer. This. There's a scene in My Big Fat Greek Wedding where the mother and aunt are conspiring to get the father to agree on an idea. This is what they do.
We must let Costa think this was his idea. All right, that he came up with. All right.
I have your answer. Tula will go to the travel agency and you send Nikki here to work for us.
What they're trying to avoid is something called reactance. It's when you ask someone to do something and they do the opposite because they feel like you're trying to control them. But there's a faster and easier way to neutralize reactance. Preface your request by saying the following. It's your decision, of course. This will reduce perceived threat to their freedom and increase the odds they'll do what you ask. Struggling to make promises you've made to yourself stick? Ask these 3 questions. Number 1, is it worth bothering? If you haven't done it yet, the reward for bothering may not outweigh the effort involved. That means you have 2 avenues to follow. Make the payoff more attractive or make it easier to do. Number 2, am I actually clear on what I need to do? When we're excited about something, we can see all sorts of opportunities. The problem is we overcomplicate the situation and confuse ourselves in the process. Boil it down to one thing you can do tomorrow. And number 3, what am I worried about if I do this? Are you worried about failing, being embarrassed, wasting your time or money? All these things might happen, but it doesn't mean moving forward isn't worth it. So how can you give yourself nothing to fear if you do proceed, but something to fear if you don't?